Yo, yo, is this on? Is this on? Testes, 1, 2, testes, 1, 2, no, okay. All right. So it is Thursday, 7:30 p.m. on 8/11/2016. It's good to be back here with our little version of Reber Live tonight, and want to kind of move that around a bit. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk a little bit tonight, get situated here, about the most important day of your job. But before I do that, I'm going to tell a little story here. You might see behind me an award. What do you call these? An Emmy? Grammy? Emmy? Emmy, right? Emmy? So this was an award that I was given by my son Tiga when we were on our road trip a couple weeks ago. We went to Hollywood, and as you can see, I am best dad. Okay? I'm best dad. So, in case you were wondering, I win best dad. Well, here's another thing that's funny is he bought these for the whole family. He bought, best mom, best dad, best brother, best sister. He bought one that was drama queen, bought a drama queen trophy, and that's a roving trophy that moves throughout our family now, depending on who's being the biggest drama queen in our family. So yeah, I won best dad. Well, Tiga actually bought himself a trophy, or an Emmy. When we were in Hollywood, he got himself an Emmy, and he awarded himself best person. So, in case you're wondering, Tiga is the best person. So check this out. I want to talk just briefly tonight. Tonight will be a relatively short. Last week we went almost a half an hour. We're not going to go that long tonight. We're only going to go probably 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. But I wanted to talk about what I think the most important day of a project is if you're a contractor. The most important day. And so, and this comes from, not that you can see that, but my just some notes of mine in a part of one of my coaching programs. I have a thing called the Foreman Training Academy, and we train foremen and things like that how to really do a great job running projects and leading jobs. And so I just thought tonight we'd talk a little bit about this because this is an area that I think contractors can always grow in. And so the most important day of the job is not the day that you get the lead. It's not the day that you make the sale, although sales are super important. It's not the day that you get paid. Okay? Getting paid is great. Getting a lead is great. Getting a sale is great. I personally believe that the most important day of a project, if you're a contractor, is day number 1 on the job. Day number 1 on the job. So we want to have a strong start to any project that we're working on. And so there's a few things that need to be taken place in order to make sure that we have a strong first day on the job. And I found through the years that when these things kind of get blown off, we usually have a harder time bringing in a profitable project and one where the client is happy as well. All right, so let's talk just a couple minutes here. I'm just going to kind of go down some of the things I've highlighted from my list of what makes a good day 1 on your project. All right, so I think being in touch before the job is super important. What a lot of contractors do is we sell a job and then we go radio silent for a number of days or weeks, and then we show up and go, hey, we're here to do the work at your house. All right, just that small little moment of time, 5 minutes of your life that you pick the phone up and you reach out to your potential client and you just say, hey, just want to let you know, I know we got you on the schedule for tomorrow at 8 o'clock start time or whatever your time is going to be, but I just wanted to confirm and remind you again. okay, that we're coming. Here's my cell phone number if anything comes up before. Just that courtesy call to, again, put it on their radar, because all of us have a lot of things going on in our lives. We're all busy, and trying to remember all these other things that are happening can be tough. So if you want to have a strong start, you gotta have go ahead and contact them before. Make sure that you're being in touch. All right, recap the plan for the first day of the job with your team and with the homeowner. I think this is big. When you have a scope of work and you have a proposal in front of them and you sell the job and you hand it off to your guys, hand it off to your crew, sometimes we can miss things in translation. They can misunderstand the scope of work. And so I think it's a great opportunity to pull your team together, pull your people together, and pull the homeowner together and just say, hey, I just wanted to get on the same page here and make sure that we start things right and everyone understands what's supposed to happen here. I'll get to that one later. All right, so tell them what you plan on doing that day. Hey, listen, we plan on starting here. We plan on this happening. We plan on that happening. Oh, and by the way, we're doing all this demo work or all this prep work. And so for the first couple days, it's not going to look like we're accomplishing much here. So please, be patient, because this is all part of the process. Like, tell them what to expect, because a lot of people, they don't live in our world as contractors. So they come home from work, they know a team of contractors or these workers have been in their house all day, and nothing really looks any different, and there's just a big mess. Sometimes that can freak them out. So we want to make sure that they understand what's going to happen day one and what to expect, so that it just puts them at ease and they're not lying awake all night that first night wondering, regretting who they hired. All right, so listen, setting up a shop area. This is something my uncle taught me. My uncle and my grandfather were both painting contractors, and this was a big one. When I walk onto a job site, I personally expect to see a small area where our tools are. And some of you contractors that are landscapers and things like that, I know you got bigger equipment, but still, you can stage your stuff in an area. If you got machinery or sprayers or whatever, you can line it up nice, lay out a tarp, put your tools all in one area. Guys, that sends a message to the homeowner, to your customer, that you care, that you're neat. Think about the contractors that roll up on a job site and they empty their truck and they just start throwing stuff all over, and it's just like they're invading somebody's house. And again, that just makes the experience less amazing for people. But when you roll up, you have this great discussion with the client and get the expectations set on that first day of what's going to happen and where we're going to start, where we're going to end for the day. And your guys are staging your stuff in an area that's neat and orderly. Man, that sends a message to not only the people that are writing you the check, but it sends a message to the people in the neighborhood that, like, wow, these are different types of contractors. I remember getting hired on a few different occasions because the next door neighbor guy was watching, retired guy was watching reruns of Matlock all day, looking out his window, watching our crew work, and picked the phone up one day and called the number on our van, because he's like, and he said, man, you guys, you respect things, you're clean, you guys, leave your clothes on when you're on a job site, you're not smoking weed and peeing in the bushes and all those things that crazy contractors do. So set up that shop area. Take before pictures. Take before pictures. Okay? Give me a, that's me in the comments if you do a crappy job of getting enough pictures of your projects and your work. Just put, yep, that's me, Tom, or something like that in the comments. All right, you have so many things going through your mind. You're trying to organize things and juggle a bunch of balls that are in the air. Just build the habit of taking some before pictures, and try to take, when it comes time to take an after picture at the end of the job, try to go in the same place and the same angle, same time of day that you took the before picture. Okay, Dan says not me. All right, Dan, we'll see about that. Okay, so take before pictures, guys, because your job is to market your business. And, I have a guy that I work with who unfortunately has to use like the same 4 pictures of his work from 5 years ago because he refuses to take pictures. All right, and I'm on him all the time, and he still doesn't do it. All right, I told him to hire a photographer. He still doesn't do it. I don't want to get started down this road because I'm going to get mad. And my face is going to turn red and it's going to drive me crazy because he's blowing an opportunity. Okay? We all want our phone to ring. We all want leads. We all want sales. Well, you have to take pictures. You have to tell a story with the work that you do. All right. This is the time on the first day that you are going to want to plant seeds. Okay? Put it on the customer's, radar for later in the week when the job is done for how we're going to finish the job. This is really big because a lot of times we will start a job, we'll finish a job, and the customer's not around. You got to hunt down a paycheck or a check from them. They're not there when you want to do the final walkthrough and make sure they're happy with stuff. And then you assume everything's fine. You leave, and a day or two later they have some issues with some things. And then you got to send the guys back out and go out and take care of something. Listen, there's never a perfect project, and it's, fixing some of these minor issues that they might not be happy with. If you build ponds, maybe they just don't like the way a certain rock is sitting. Well, it's a lot easier to take care of that on the last day of the job when you're there with the homeowner. Okay, so when they're there doing the walkthrough. So, I think this is a great time to just say to them, hey, listen, Joe and Mary, we're going to be finishing your job on Thursday afternoon, so it would be awesome if the three of us could get together and we'll walk the project at, say, 2:30. We'll start going through some things and talking about some stuff, and I'll show you, what we did. We'll compare it to the scope of work. At that time, we'll take care of any issues that you might have if we have anything, and we'll also get our final check. So you want to plant seeds for that. You want to make sure that that happens so you don't waste a lot of time having to chase your money or spend more money than you need to producing the work because you got to send guys back after you've packed up and you've gotten out of there. Another one I want to talk about that's really important on having a strong first day on the job is explaining any issues to the client that is not going to meet their expectations, okay? This is big. Okay, so I'm a sales guy. I go out and sell the job, and what do? I don't do this on purpose. None of the sales guys really do this on purpose, but we tend to promise stuff and yeah, we're awesome and we can do that in a day and we can, because we want to get the work. All right, and we always don't know if the ground is going to be really hard for digging or if we're going to run into any issues in preparation that were unforeseen conditions and things like that. So let's say you're about a couple hours into the job or you're halfway through the first day of a project and you realize that something's just not going to go as planned. So I'll give you a quick scenario here. I was talking to a foreman of a water feature company the other day. And we used the example where the customer wanted the waterfall of their pond built so that they could watch the sun go down behind it at night. They wanted to sit out there. That was one of the whole reasons they were putting this water feature in, is so that they could watch the sun go down behind their waterfall with their glass of wine. Okay, did you like that? That was kind of cool. All right, so on the first day of the job, they realized there was this crazy root system or some big boulder in the ground or whatever that was like right in an area where the waterfall was going to be. So he called a timeout. He grabbed the homeowner. He said, hey, listen, you remember when we talked about having this happen here with the sun going down behind the waterfall? And this is why we placed the water feature in the pond in this position. And they're like, yeah, well, listen, I'm not totally sure that we're going to be able to nail that for you. And here's why. Okay, and he explained what was going on, the unforeseen conditions that they've run into, and then they made the customer part of the process. So listen, John, I can put the waterfall here, but some things are going to happen that we didn't account for. I might have to get a big piece of machinery to come in and pull out this big rock, and that's going to be more money. I might have to rip out this root system or whatever. That's going to cost more money. It's an unforeseen condition. But the first day of the job, you guys, that's the time we want to have these conversations with people so that you don't build the project. You get to the end of the job and they're expecting the sun to go down behind the waterfall and the waterfall's over here. All right, that's the last day of the job or midway. There we go. I was trying to reconnect again. So if there's going to be anything that's not going to go the way it was discussed, let the client know. It could be timing. Maybe you got dumped on like for days before the start of your job, or maybe there's rain in the forecast for tonight and you have a 4-day job, and you know that if it rains tonight, if you're a painting contractor, even if it's sunny tomorrow, chances are we're not coming back because the house has to dry for a day. We want to let the customer know as soon as possible, make them part of the solution so that it's a great experience for them. And that's always helps you to have a good start to the project. All right, hold on here. Sorry. Vodka. All right. Another big one here. You want to have a good start to a job. We call this our neighborhood attack plan. Go around to the neighbors, knock on the door, and say, "Hi, I'm Tom with Bob's Painting," whatever, okay? Wanted to let you know that we're going to be working next door or across the street for the next few days. Here's my card. Here's my cell phone number. If you have any issues, if any garbage blows into your yard, if any of our vehicles happen to be parked in an inconvenient place for you, if anything's happening that's just not working for you, please call me and I will take care of it. I'll make sure that we come right over and get the garbage, or we'll move the vehicle or whatever. Guys, this sets the tone for you being a different kind of a contractor right from the get-go. All right, so many complaints from neighbors about other people's contractors. They park in a bad place, their music's cranked up too loud, there's debris and garbage all over the place, they're driving across the neighbor's lawn with a piece of equipment and tearing up the grass. That's what people are used to when they work with a contractor. So start your job great, have that attack plan where you can get out and let them know that you're going to be in the area. This serves a second purpose, okay? The first thing is it makes it a better experience for the neighbors. It also makes it, it's a great way for you to plant some seeds for future work. And I promise you, you will find over time that when you do that with the immediate neighbors, you're going to kick up some leads and some sales for yourself because you took 10 minutes to go around on that first day of the job and do that. All right, a couple more here and then we're going to wrap this thing up. If you also want to have a good, strong start to a job, a good first day on the project, have a clear end in sight for what's going to be completed on day one, and make sure that you're on target, make sure your team knows, and make sure you deliver if at all possible. Okay? Because again, when you pull the homeowner aside and you pull your team aside, he goes, "All right, guys, here's the schedule. We start on Monday. We need to finish on Thursday. That means by the end of the day, Monday, I want to be here." Communicate that to your team. Come in with a strong plan and dominate that first day. You know, get a few extra things done on that first day if you're able to. That strong start is going to help set the table for a really strong finish a few days later. Because we all know if you work in the trades, there are a lot of things that just happen. You know, I mean, listen, you guys know this. We can go out and do an estimate based on historical data until we're blue in the face, but we know that most jobs are different. You have weather issues, you have access issues, different preparation levels. There's humidity in the air, or it might be windy one day, or whatever. There are so many things that can affect a job, so get a good start. Make sure everyone in your team is on board. They understand what they need to be doing when you guys roll up on a project and they get out. The worst thing is, man, I remember this when I was a really young, brand new painting contractor. I remember I used to pull up to a job. My guys would stand in the front yard or out by the street, and I'd talk to the homeowner for a half an hour, 45 minutes. Who knows why, okay? And my guys didn't know what to do. All right, that's on me. It looks unprofessional. It looks like we don't have a plan. We're walking around going, where are we going to start? And we're a bunch of morons, and you want to avoid that. So make sure everyone has a clear role for the day and they're clear on their times. All right, last thing I want to talk about. Having a good day one on a project. Guys, leave the job super duper clean. Leave it looking immaculate. What are people used to? Okay, so many contractors are whining and complaining and griping about, you know, I can't charge more money, and you know, my customers are, you know, complaining and they're a pain in the butt. If we would just there's two things. If we would communicate better and clean up better, all right, if we would communicate better and clean up better, we would absolutely have a more successful and more profitable business. When you leave that job site mega clean, all right, at the end of the day, and they walk around or they're walking in the backyard and they're looking at stuff and they're not tripping over tools and empty Coke cans and tape or whatever's laying around, when you have that, guys, it puts them at ease. It reaffirms that they made the right decision in choosing your company, and that's the experience that they're going to tell other people about. You might do a great paint job or do a beautiful job building a landscape feature or something like that, but the thing that they're going to be talking about at the cookout with their neighbor is the experience, good or bad, of what they had with you. All right, so hopefully these few tips here tonight will help you get a stronger start on your projects so that you have a stronger finish, and so in turn you could build a stronger and more profitable business. I appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll see you on Monday night on the 15th. I think it's the 15th. I'm actually going to be in Philadelphia, so I will be broadcasting from Philly with some clients of mine that are out there at Matt and Laura's place. So stay tuned, 7:30 Mountain Time, 9:30 Eastern, Monday night, and we'll catch you guys next week. Motor hard.